and welcome to my kitchen. And today we have one more delicious recipe for you to consider for your Thanksgiving table or your holiday table in general. These are delicious Parmesan herb drop biscuit that are going to be quick to put together and even more easy to eat. And you are going to love them. So let's go see how we make these Parmesan herb drop biscuits. We're going to go over the ingredients for these Parmesan herb drop biscuits. Now these are like a baking powder biscuit that you don't have to roll out. You just scoop it, plop it, bake it. And that's the best thing because on Thanksgiving nobody has time to be rolling out biscuits and it just makes things a little bit easier. Now I almost called these Scarborough Fair biscuits, and for those of you who are jamming with the Simon and Garfunkel, you'll get it. When you see it, you'll get it. Okay, so what you're going to need to start is 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, 1.5 to 2 cups of buttermilk, a half a cup or so, maybe a little bit more, of good quality grated Parmesan cheese, 1 stick or half a cup of butter that I've cut into cubes, and it is cold. Now for the magic part. We have 2 tablespoons of chopped parsley. This is all fresh. A tablespoon of chopped rosemary. This is 2 tablespoons or thereabouts of fresh chopped chive. This is 1 tablespoon sage, and this is 1 tablespoon of thyme. And then we have just a couple of dry things. I have a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of cracked black pepper, and a teaspoon of poultry seasoning, which is optional, but it's going to kind of pull everything all together. So
it's got parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme.
And chives. But yes, parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. You know. Are you going to Scarborough Fair? Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Yeah, you know that. You know that. Okay, so then we're just going to take all of these goodies and we're going to mix them in with our flour. I'm going to toss in my baking powder. Give that a stir, and then we're also going to toss in our Parmesan. We're going to do about a half a cup or so. You can measure if you want to. It's just Parmesan. All right, now we take your butter and toss it in there. And I like to toss my butter in there as well before I start to use the pastry cutter because that helps to keep it kind of separate. You want to create really nice pockets of butter so that these biscuits are nice and flaky. Now I'm going to take your pastry cutter or 2 knives and you're just going to get that butter cut into the flour mixture. And if I really, somebody with all the technology we have, somebody's got to come up with smell-o-vision. I am no joking. This smells so amazing. I can't wait to taste them because I know that they're also going to smell amazing when they're baking. So just get your pastry cutter in here and you see I go straight down and I give it a twist. And really what you're trying to achieve is incorporating the flour into the butter, and you're going to want to finish with what looks like coarse cornmeal or small crumbs, and that's what you're shooting for. Right, we're done mixing that in and cutting that butter into the flour, and it's just how I want it to be. Now I'm going to get a fork because I always think that it's better to mix the buttermilk in with a fork. Now this is going to be a wet, sticky dough. This is not going to be dry, and if it turns out that it's a little bit on the dry side, we're going to want to add a little more buttermilk. So I have my buttermilk standing by. But it looks like 1.5 cups is going to do it for me today. Now, it's not terribly dry here where I am today. I feel there's a little more moisture in the air. It's been raining and... Alright. We're good. I'm going to go get my baking sheet and we'll start scooping. Alright. Our dough is all mixed up. We've got our scoop, and we're just going to scoop these out. And this is approximately a 2 tablespoon or 2 ounce scoop. So we'll do this, and then we'll come back and I'll show you what it looks like, and we'll determine how many we're going to get out of here. It may be about 24, so I may need another sheet. Okay, I've got them all scooped out, and as you can see, what do we have? About almost 2 dozen. We have 23 here, so it's all good. We're going to go ahead and pop these into a 350-degree oven for 12 to 15 minutes, and then we'll be back and we'll show you how we're going to finish them off. Right, these have been in the oven for about 15 minutes, and if I could explain to you exactly how delicious they smell, boy, these smell really, really amazing.
They really do.
Now, we're going to finish these off by doing something very simple. I have a half a stick of butter, or 4 tablespoons, to which I have melted. I've melted it, and I added a teaspoon of paprika, just sweet paprika, and I'm just going to brush that over top of these little biscuits. And you see they're not too big. They're just the perfect, you know, when I think sometimes dinner rolls can be too big. And these are flavorful, and they're just a bite. In fact, you know what? You could put these out as a little appetizer even, and they would be lovely. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to plate these, and I'll meet you back over at the counter, and we'll give them a try. Right, there you have it. A beautiful plate of Parmesan and herb drop biscuits. Like I said, I could call them Scarborough Fair drop biscuits. Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme, and all that good stuff. We brushed them with a little butter that had paprika mixed in with it. And I can't wait to dig in, because these are really tempting to me. And I really do think they would stand on their own as an appetizer. I'm just going to pull one apart. And you can see how light and airy they are. Look at that. So beautiful. Want to try it?
Okay.
It's a little bit warm, so be careful. Oh, wow.
Yeah, very good.
Oh. You know those biscuits that you get at that restaurant? You know what I'm talking about. This thing, oh my gosh, those don't have anything on these. These are so fresh. Using the fresh herbs is really the key. And what a difference. But if you don't have fresh herbs at your disposal, dried herbs are going to be just fine. Just make sure that when you use dry, you only use half the amount. Because fresh herbs, you require a lot more than dried, because the dried herbs have a very concentrated flavor. So, I mean, you can see the texture is incredible. It's nice and airy. And it got nice loft from the baking powder. And oh, it's just delicious. You've got to try these. They're super simple. It really is something at the last minute that you can throw together to serve on your table if you didn't do any bread or rolls or something like that. So, I hope that you give these Parmesan herb drop biscuits a try, and I hope that you love them. And until next time, happy holidays! Thank you for joining me in my kitchen today. I hope you liked what you watched today, and I hope that you try it, and I hope that you love it. If you liked what you saw, please consider hitting the thumbs up button and giving me a positive rating. And also, make sure that you hit the subscribe button if you're already not a subscriber, so that you don't miss out on any of the fun we have here in our kitchen every single day. I hope that you enjoyed it. I'm really glad that you're here. Thank you for stopping by. Don't forget to come by tomorrow.